Hey guys, I'm Daryl Kristen with AfterBuzz TV. You know, I was recently looking to buy a car and I thought to myself, there has to be a better way. That old game of cat and mouse at the dealership, going to the manager and coming back. I mean, who wants to do that anymore? I know I don't. It's a process filled with complete anxiety. So I spoke to my friend and they told me about a new way to buy a car. She says it's called TrueCar.com and it's a revolutionizing way to buy a car and have a better experience forever. TrueCar.com, I thought, I'm intrigued, but what's it all about? So my friend told me that at TrueCar.com, you can actually see what others paid to buy the car that you're looking for in your particular area. The site gives you a total transparency and the confidence to know when you're getting a great deal. On top of that, you can lock in negotiation-free guaranteed savings on the car you're looking for. She said TrueCar users save an average of $3,000 off MSRP. How is this possible? I don't know. I thought about it. And then she told me that at TrueCar.com, you get a certified guarantee take on the certificate to a TrueCar certified dealer so you don't have to worry about the hassle and anxiety of the old way to buy a car. You don't even have to take my word for it if you don't believe me. I did a little bit more research and found out that TrueCar's certified dealers have sold over 1 million cars to TrueCar users. Over 40,000 last month alone. So seriously, if you're ready to buy a car, why wouldn't you go to TrueCar.com? Negotiation-free guaranteed savings, a hassle-free experience, and a TrueCar certified dealer that is committed to a new and better way to buy a car. I mean, hey, you got me sold. You should check it out too. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Just visit TrueCar.com today. You will not be disappointed.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show.
Woo! And we're back!
Nobody knows where they might.
Apparently somebody's day isn't made until we remix this song, so...
Here we go. Boom. It's been so long!
Oh, Starr. Look, Sandra. Still bad. Good, huh, Sandra?
That was our worst remix ever!
I know!
Hashtag epic fail. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Grey's Anatomy After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Wow, it has been
12 weeks.
So long.
Forever.
12 weeks.
So
Forever.
long.
I'm Jason J. Carter. So good to be back in the hot seat with my lovely ladies.
I'm Julie Partin. I'm equally stoked to be here.
That's right, and I'm Starr Session, and I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah.
Hello.
And Kelly O will be back with us next week. She is taking care of some Oscar business this week. So, you know, got Grey's Anatomy. Okay, so is it weird that in the weeks leading up to tonight's return, I have had several Grey's epiphanies and experiences outside of AfterBuzz and in the real world?
What?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Okay, well, my hubby was on a plane to Orlando, Florida with Patrick Dempsey.
Ooh.
I don't think that's an epiphany. That's a miracle.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
miracle.
like-
That's a
kismet.
Yes, that's like a after Christmas miracle. And then today at Starbucks, I'm getting my cinnamon dulce soy latte, and guess who bumps into me? One of the interns from season 6. Now, here's the thing. I didn't have time to get her name, but I recognized the face, and she was one of the little Hispanic one.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't
Sure.
know. I'll tweet a picture.
Yeah. Bring it back. Bring it back on Twitter, because I definitely want to see who you bumped into.
I love it whenever we don't have to guess if there's going to be a show next week or not, but gosh, this was too long a break.
Too long a
I
break.
missed it so bad.
I know.
Well, let's get started, ladies, by saying what's up to our loyal Twitter followers and everyone on Twitter that is so stoked that the show's back as well. I mean, people were tweeting since last night. Hell, people were tweeting since last weekend. Grey's this week. Oh my God, 3
They
days
missed
so
it as much as us.
I know. I just opened my phone and I have 33 notifications from all of the fans.
You East Coast spoilers too. We had to turn our phone off because we didn't want to know who April picked.
Exactly.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, let's talk about our fans. We still have
Alicia Harding's there.
Still, she's coming back for more.
Yes, Tanja Bumbar.
Adidas, he's new, I think.
Kinsu 13.
Brianna Gurley.
And Jacqueline at Dynamite Jack. Hi, so glad that you're joining with us now. She's been tweeting me all night trying to, just get our opinions and everything that's been going on with the show.
And if we have any new theorists.
And if we have any new fans and friends out there, definitely follow us on Twitter at Starr Session is mine. Jason.
At JJC Forever.
I'm Julie Partin, JuliEpartin.
On Twitter, just tweet us.
DH Lane, Mr. Cake Pops, Megs3. Wow, we have so many new people.
Yeah.
You know what? This Grey's Anatomy fan base is a family.
I know.
And we're glad to have you in
family.
it.
I love it.
All right, you guys. Well, tonight's show, Take It Back, is, I don't know. I was reading some of the... Okay, so I do read the spoilers. I do because...
Okay, don't read the... Let's jump into something different.
Okay.
No, wait.
Who did you think April was going to pick? Because that's like the hot topic of the night, right?
Get it cracking. I thought she was going to pick Pretty Teeth Matthew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did too. Remember how I said I thought she was going to marry Matthew but still have feelings for Avery?
Yeah.
That's where I thought they were going with it.
Well, my thing, I had two predictions, which was I felt like she was going to choose Avery, but then I also felt like she was going to choose no one and just like, you know what? Clearly, I don't know what I want and choose no one. So that's what I thought.
Per usual.
Well, I was furious that they left us hanging all this time. So I was glad when right at the bat we see them running.
They started off
I wanted to see the moment. I wanted to see what she did, if she apologized to Matthew, how she ended up. But instead we just saw her, Twilight.
Yeah, slow motion. I like that. I'm glad that they kept. One of the things that Grey's does really well is they're consistent. They don't leave. They may have some. Okay, I take that back. They're for the most part consistent as far as keeping with the storylines and making sure that we piggyback off of what just happened. Previously before the break. And I too was like, whoa, that's so romantic. They're running out of the barn, not the church, the barn. And Jackson, of course, because you can't deny the chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Hello. Nobody can.
I mean, when the episode started, it was kind of like dreamy. So we were kind of guessing, is this a dream?
Immediate too.
Is it a dream? Was it a dream?
Is she picturing this but not real?
Yeah, like it was kind of like left up in the air how they put like the filter over the video. It just felt really whimsical and slow mo.
Yeah, it was very slow.
Absolutely
well, they had to
loved it.
fast forward 3 weeks later because the aftermath was everything that came afterwards. And tonight's show did jump around a little bit as far as, and they started out with Jackson and April, and then they ended with Jackson and April because you didn't get much of Jackson and April relationship. Their episode, it was like, bookends. So let's talk about it. Let's go. Star Session. This you're driving tonight because you had the most to say about the show tonight.
I love it. Well, when it comes down to it, they fast forward it to 3 weeks later, and then they jump to us seeing Calzona. They're back.
Well, first we saw a little snippet of stuff that was still going on at the wedding. Meredith was pissed at her husband.
Of course.
And it looked like Calzona was going to break up. It's not working. It's not working.
I have 5 different variations of that same scene from Calzona that it's just, I wish that Shonda, and that, believe it or not, Calzona is one of Shonda's most favorite couples on the show.
Really?
Out of the whole Grey's story.
When it comes down to Calzona, it's kind of like the story's repeating itself. And it's like we're not getting really anything new. They're just bickering and bickering and bickering. It was kind of great last season. So hopefully we're going to move past that this season.
I feel like tonight was that. That was that transition from the turmoil and the conflict to the next phase.
So they wrapped it up into a bow.
That's what I feel. But so we see them. We see them at the house, and at first we think it's Arizona buying her house by herself.
Right? They kind of allude to that.
Callie comes out the door. Apparently, it's a murder house. Why? Why would they move it to a murder house?
They make so much money.
From the second I saw that, they're totally gonna have there be some sort of ghost plot.
Oh yeah.
No.
Hello. Halloween.
They can't. Okay, first of all, no, because the ghost thing, Danny, that died 4 seasons ago. But
are you trying trying to say that Grace doesn't repeat itself?
I do,
because
but
there
I
will
think
be
that's-
another ghost.
They do.
How are they? Okay, if they do a ghost plot, that'll be just as tragic as the singing episodes. They can't. No. But the thing about Calzona. It's just, it's always like poor Callie is on the edge, trying to make it. It's too much. It's like that kid who's didn't graduate high school. That's in fifth period yet again because he can't get it together. And you're like, dude, just quit. Get your GED, call it a day. That's the same thing about Calzona and their relationship. It's just like, crap or get off the pot already. And
I feel like they did. I feel like they crapped.
so they had a big crap then? That was the big crap.
I feel like throughout this entire episode, we see Callie.
Crapping.
I don't want the house. It's not right. It's a murder house, or there's all these papers to sign. But then there's a moment there where Arizona's like, I see this as our next transitional phase. I don't see myself being all depressed. I don't see myself in a hospital bed. I see
Missing
myself
a
in you
leg.
in this house of the tree swing thing.
In the swing in the
I
tree.
know.
But my thing is I think that they're still gonna have to break up because
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, Callie is the type of person that likes to change people. You know what I mean? And is Arizona really gonna change? She's gonna go back into her ridiculous
She's the villain.
ways.
She's the villain.
Yeah.
She's the Donna LaDonna. She's not the nice person in the clique. She's the mean girl.
But we don't really watch TV to see them be happy. You know what I mean? Like, we watch TV to
the drama.
For the drama.
Right,
You know what I
okay.
mean? So we can get away from
Agreed.
our lives. So
Agreed.
There's going to be some drama coming up. I know it, but I just hopefully it's not as annoying as it felt tonight. Like,
It was
I was kind of like
highly annoying.
I wanted that storyline to be over. So we'll see.
I really feel like this is their break.
Okay.
I feel like their new house is going to bring them some
so
freshness
hopeful,
to their
positive
relationship.
for the future.
And moving on.
And also, it's been done. It has so been done.
Yeah.
Right. I know. Well, touching on relationships, we see a really weird exchange with Karev and Joe, and apparently they're engaged now.
Well, he goes like, "Oh, hi, this is my fiance." Joe."
What?
And her face was like, "What?"
I loved their moment at the barn. I didn't think it was going to result in something so awkward.
Yeah. I mean, did you think it was a proposal?
No.
Did you?
No, not at all.
I didn't think it was a proposal. I mean, I know what a proposal is.
Oh, Starr said you're
We
newly
can
engaged.
transition
Yes,
into
we
that.
can.
If you haven't been blinded already, our star's getting married.
I know. The wedding's in October.
You're crazy. It's August.
Whatever.
With that said, it was really awkward. You know what I mean? Like,
Awkward.
Joe was just like, wait, what happened? But she played along really well, sort of, in her awkward phase. But, I mean, when she finally...
It set in. That
when it
would
finally
happen.
set in, was like, oh my gosh, it was back at the barn. He wasn't just like venting and saying like we love each other. He was like
Trying to get
proposing,
hitched.
which is awkward.
He needs to know. This
get
day
on a
and
knee.
age, you have to do better than that.
Karev, but the thing about Karev is that he's always a last-ditch effort kind of guy. It's always within the confines of the world's gonna end. Someone just died. I just got shot. Let me just profess my. He's always so desperate. His love comes from desperation. It does because
Also, he's a really all or nothing kind of guy. He does not have good problem solving
black
skills.
or white.
Yeah.
Blurry black. There's no shade of gray with
He's
Karev.
either like, we're in love, or I hate you, I'll never see you again.
Right. And, I think that has to go with the way, I can identify with Karev as far as his, being sheltered and wanting to guard his emotions because he's been through a lot. And his dad's back in the picture, dying daily in front of him, and, him having to connect. And, okay, the dad's wife, the bitter Asian chick,
Yes.
she was team too much tonight.
I loved it. She came in like fierce, like throw his stuff in the trash. I'm moving on. Like whatever I need to sign, let me sign it. And then she's like, he's alive? Like,
Well,
How dare you.
Karev got her there by lying.
exactly.
So Karev, this whole episode, he's such a basket case about this. And I want to clarify something. Was the dad going to die anyway, or did Shane basically kill him?
He was going through something in the finale,
Right.
where maybe I think he was flatlining,
kept
and then
flatlining.
he instead of calling a resident. Wait, is he a resident? Instead of calling someone above him, he just went ahead and did what he needed to do, and it didn't work.
Right.
So he just had a bad medical moment. He didn't necessarily kill this person.
No, but
Okay.
it like didn't help his heart. It ruined it.
Right.
Hurt it.
So anyway, everybody's mad at Shane.
Right.
And Karev, remember the moment where he was so mad and he told that Meredith lied about the Alzheimer's test?
Right.
That's exactly what it reminded me of whenever he said that Christina and Shane were sleeping together. He just blurted
Blurted
stuff out when he's mad.
He's very vindictive. Yeah, like, it's like, well, you screw me, so I'm gonna screw you even more. And this time he was sober. He was drunk in the bar when he
That's true. No excuse.
manhandled Meredith and destroyed her, for temporarily.
Well, that moment happened so quick. Like, he just blurted it out that Shane, the reason, he's getting all the special treatment is because Shane is sleeping with, what's her name?
Christina.
Yeah.
Christina, And so Owen's face was like, what? Complete shock. He didn't even see it coming,
like,
which
how
is
dare
weird.
she?
But I guess as a chief, you don't really see the ins and outs of everything because you're looking at
Maybe not
everything
a chief,
at a
but
whole.
an ex-husband.
I mean,
Yeah, but-
that was okay. I think Owen's reaction was definitely not from a chief standpoint. It was like, that's my tail, and you're getting a whiff of it. You
Yeah.
need to fall back. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
Even if it's your ex-tail.
Yeah,
You
I
don't want
mean,
anybody getting
men
away.
are territorial. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christina Yang's, hot.
The hot. Okay.
Well, so everybody's furious at Shane, and Alex is having to deal with the death of his father, and nobody else is there for his father, and he doesn't want to be there for his father.
Right.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, when she came in, she made great points. Like, he is a screw up, and he lied a ton of times, basically stealing her guitar and things like that. And like, you know what? Then when she turned around and walked away, she was like, "You're just like your father," which is like such a dagger.
Right. Not even
know.
a dagger. That was like a slay. Unleash the dragon and slay the beast. That's
Yeah,
what that
I mean,
was.
I could not believe she said that. She didn't even know him, and like, she
I know.
she has no idea that he went through so much with his
Although,
dad
honestly,
not being there.
If somebody said your husband died to me, I show up and my husband had not died, I wouldn't like that person either.
Yeah, but with that said, like, she didn't care either way, and
Yeah.
that was a way to just get her there to like help him. Karev was just trying to help his dad, which is awkward because he so far has not wanted to help his dad, and like this episode, he wanted to help his dad by having someone be there for him to help him get through.
Exactly.
I think he wanted somebody to be there so he didn't have to. You know?
That's
It could have
true.
been a little bit of both, because we see, I mean, as we said before, Karev does hide his feelings very well,
Yeah.
but he's a very sensitive character. I mean, obviously, because of the way
he's
he...
the most
sensitive,
emotional.
right? So he needed his friends to be there. He pushes people away, but when you push people away, that's when you want them the most.
poor
It's the truth.
Karev.
I know, poor Karev.
And then Joe, am I engaged? What happened here?
I know. I thought he was gonna be like, no. The way that moment happened was like, no, that's not. I didn't. It could either go both ways. Like, no, I wasn't. You're not.
No, it was a joke. It was just saving face. Calm down, lady. Keep it moving.
That's what I thought he was
I
gonna say.
thought
But
so,
then
too.
when he said like, oh yeah, how did you not know that? It's like because you didn't get on one knee and there was no ring.
How
and
could you be
hello.
offended?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he is from, he is a dumpster diver, so maybe that's how they do.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Dumpster divers still deserve the one knee.
I guess so. I mean,
true.
But she's like, no, I'm not ready. Which was weird. I didn't know she wasn't ready.
of course she wasn't ready. She's like 21.
Yeah. She's like
No,
really.
she's not. She's a doctor. They're all at least like 27.
Okay, whatever. She's in her early 20s, and she's a resident. Like, that's like scum of the doctor food chain. When you become an attending, that's when stuff gets real crunk. But when you're a resident.
I mean, she's not ready.
No, she's an intern.
She's clearly not ready because she's just getting in a groove of who she is.
Yes.
She's like still learning who she is and still
she too was a
getting
dumpster diver.
Yeah, still grieving about that. I mean, that was just last season that they were talking about it. So she's got a lot of dumpster growing up to do.
I
Yes.
did like it that she knew herself well enough to say, I'm not ready. You know, because there are a lot of characters on this show that would just get engaged and then try to figure out for several episodes how to get out of it.
Right. She's like, I still have to sleep with a lot more interns. I mean, I'm only one
my
season
God.
in.
And then Alex is immediately like, okay, well, we're done forever.
Bye, Felicia.
Just chill. Reel it back in. It does not have to be so all or nothing.
I know,
Alex.
but yes,
But
Julie,
the
he's emotional.
it's the emotion in it.
Hashtag pow. Well, I mean, emotional. Stephanie Edwards, hashtag the free was on point today, but she was very, very distraught. And I feel bad for her because, okay, one of two things could have happened. She could have either have kept it pushing and been like, you know what, it's cool. I'm okay. I don't need him. I am woman. Hear me roar.
That's what she was doing, right?
Yes.
Or she could have really been like, oh my God, like all
Which she-
episode.
Yeah, I mean, she did a little bit of both. Let's just be honest. She cried about it, but you have to. being left at the altar, even though she was near the altar, which the intern said, which was such a cute line.
She's been left near the altar.
Yeah, like I think that's so...
This was Leah's funniest episode.
Yeah,
She's
she was
more
very likable.
Her just raging off in every direction was hysterical.
Yeah, I love that she confronted Avery in surgery. Because she really didn't confront him. She was glaring at him, and he confronted her. Like, do you have something to say?
She had residual pissed offness from Arizona dumping her too. So it was like all coming to a head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was just spewing out honesty everywhere. And for the first time, it actually came across as funny.
Yeah, and she catapulted as like a top contender of someone that's gonna do really well this season because she's been really obnoxious in the past.
Yeah, there has hardly been any good Leah moments since her characters appeared on the show.
I do think winter finale she was good after she got dumped. She started to come around with the chief and everything. Leah, she's developing, and I don't miss Mousy at all. Sorry about it.
Sorry,
Mousy was funny to me. I do miss her.
Yeah, well,
but
well, with that said, she stood up for her friend, for Stephanie, and which I think was really awesome, but. He's been trying to contact her and say sorry, but she's running the other way. But I'd be running the other way too, because if someone did that to me, I would not want to talk to them forever, ever.
And it is so awkward that they all work together, and I know they address it later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but you have to see these people that you just broke up with.
Right. Grace Sloan Memorial, whatever the name of the hospital is, it's like one big revolving door of inappropriateness.
And that's the way we like it.
So, all right, let's see.
But Stephanie did have a moment where she's like, "You want to apologize to me? That's just good for you. I don't even need it."
Right. I love that line.
Yeah.
Fix Catman.
Fix Catman.
Oh, Catman. God, what a weird patient.
I loved it.
You love Catman?
It was awkwardly lovable.
Right. I did not think so.
But he was giving me like, I don't know. First of all, I don't know why people would ever want to mangle their face that way, but I think his monologue where he talked about when he was really real about how he felt about his transformation was very telling, because he was like, I regret doing what I've done. I haven't left my house in a year and a half. Okay, AfterBuzz, if you don't know who Catman was, if you didn't watch the episode,
who Catman was if you watched the episode.
The only patient.
Yeah.
No, okay. Catman, there was this old guy who had all of this deformity done to his face. He had claws.
Deformity.
He had blown up his cheeks. He literally had
whiskers.
tattooed cat on his face. And him walking on the street caused a big car pile up, like 6 cars or something.
Yeah.
Because he was that scary. And apparently Starr liked him. I thought he was just really strange.
No, I thought it was creepy, but like his acting was amazing. Like the storyline was The story of the main characters was way too serious for us not to have something so funny.
It just feels
and
like
Grace
to me
loves to add in that little bit of extra funny.
That moment, if you walked in on the show and saw that, you'd be like, "Where's the show going? What are they doing now?"
But that's the thing, though. I wish, like I say time and time again, ladies, Grace used to intermingle and intertwine the patients into the doctor's storyline, the shooter. There's so many different patients that have been part of arcs, right? Now, I feel like Grace just peppers in these characters just for the sake of having filler while we're going through it with the lead characters. Catman was probably one of the best of the season, believe it or not. I thought he looked bomb. It was awkward. It was awkward to look at, but once you got past it, it was actually very artistic and like, wow, he was very detailed. So I thought it was creative that the writers of Grey's Anatomy thought, what, we're gonna have a Catman this episode.
I think there's something to be said about showing an arc with a person who has completely changed themselves through surgery. But the purple cat to me was just far off.
It was very far off.
It was far off, but like people do this all the time.
Yeah,
even though we don't see it all the time, people do, like I've seen this guy. He lives in my hood. I don't live in the hood. He lives in my neighborhood. I don't know why I said that. He lives in my neighborhood, and his complete face is completely tattooed.
Do you not go to Beverly Hills
completely
at all?
Tattooed. But with that said, it's like he made great points of you do something when you're young, and then you think you're gonna love it 20 years from now, and then sometimes you don't. So maybe this is a message in that way, like the Grey's viewers out there, why don't you just think about yourself 20 years from now? Do you really want to make these changes that you're making?
But the name of the show was Take It Back, and that's the thing, and even in
the want to take it back?
And even in the monologue at the end, where Meredith and whoever writes those monologues and the epilogue and the prologue of the show are amazing because
Mr. AP English over here.
Thank you very much. I am a host. We are professionals here, but
true.
are wonderful because I mean, some of the best life lessons I learned. Don't laugh at me. Don't tweet this. Have been because of Grey's Anatomy.
Tweeting it now.
You know. But she says
He went from Shakespeare to not.
But because she says that some of the most painful, hard mistakes to deal with or hard choices to do, whatever, are the ones you missed out on. So it's throughout the show. There's all these different, what's the word?
Life, though.
Yeah, it was very telling.
You choose to make a left, you should have really made that right. But then that,
and I think the way they did that with Catman was pretty genius. Far out there, yes, Julie, but still very creative.
It makes you laugh. That's why Callie was like, "We're gonna get you out of this hospital for 9 more lives."
It was so funny how Callie couldn't wait to make that joke.
Yeah,
for your 9 lives.
Can we touch
She
on
couldn't even
Owen?
hold it in.
Can we touch on Owen a little bit? First of all, I want to thank you, Kevin McKidd, for not blinking 10 miles an hour. Good job, buddy.
I don't even know what you mean by that, but okay.
He blinks.
I know, but I don't really notice it.
Anyway,
I think that's whenever he's trying to act romantically overwhelmed and emotional, because he doesn't do it most other times.
Yeah, him and Ross. So there is beef with the Chief and Ross.
There's beef with everybody in Ross, but the Chief is the only one who's just actually
vocal about
hammering him into the ground when he's already super weak.
Yeah.
So I mean, it seems like Shane was on the chopping block to not coming back.
Right.
And Owen was very much
Adamant about
piggybacking that idea of him not coming back. So he was against it. But the board, there's so many people, so many decisions that they decided give him another chance. Everyone's made mistakes.
I'll let Izzy.
They're like, who here hasn't almost killed someone in accident?
Who here stuck their hand in a body cavity with a bomb? Who here drowned?
Yeah, so like give him another shot.
Sure. He's young.
But let's just talk about that moment when when the wedding was just happening and he's like laying by the dumpster with blood all over him sleep. Like, that moment was like very.
I thought he killed himself. I thought maybe he
I
injured
was like,
himself.
are we going down that route?
Like,
we can't move over that, but that's what happened.
Why would he why would he end up there just bloody and
just sleep?
Right. I mean, isn't that like a biohazard or something?
So anyways, he finally comes back and Owen is like on his ASS.
Yeah.
I guess I could say it. But.
Blinking 5 miles an hour, the Chief. The Chief is always, the one that's like, be calm, be chill. But Owen's like, look, Owen tells the Chief, in spirit Chief, that, listen, that's your type of tough love. I'm not here for tough love. And he's coming from a place of bitterness and anger. And
he slept with
and that's where it's coming from. And I think that it even goes beyond that he almost killed Karev's dad, because no one cares about that dude. It's like you dipped your stick in my wife's ink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Although this does bring up one of my favorite things that the show's done. They brought Ben back and they put him in Mousie's spot. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a great way to write that guy back into the show because all his pilots keep failing.
Yeah.
And Bailey's like, you don't get surgery, you don't get me. He said, I love surgery. I was a rock star. I came back here for you.
And she didn't want that because with Tuck, she didn't want to have to come home and worry about being... And I get that. I totally understand. Not that I have that in my relationship. I know people who feel like they're responsible for the happiness of somebody else because their lives are more ambitious or their lives encompass so many more out of the norm things. Like surgery is definitely out of the norm for anyone that's not a doctor. I mean, gosh. So she didn't want him to live vicariously through her. She didn't want him to give up that awesomeness for her because that's a lot of pressure for her. That and she's like OCD. Thank God she got on the pills because there's no tinge of OCD in Miranda at all anymore. It's like miraculous.
Well, once we moved to the 3 weeks later, she was like super in love with him and she was kind of like what is the gossip? Da 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 da. Like
what's the tea?
Yeah, how he wanted to know. Whoa, what am I trying to say? The happiness at the end of the day.
Right.
She was like, don't come to me for it, but she was going to him for it.
Yeah, she wanted the juice.
She wanted
They both sides wanted the gossip. Mm-hmm. But what Owen was doing was constantly making Ben look like this amazing intern and just showing Shane how bad he sucked.
Yeah.
Over and over again. It was really rude.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's like a couple ways for tough love and... breaking him down when he's already broken.
And then when he was already down,
to
he went to go talk to Karev, and Karev's dad, I'm not sure the timing of it, if his dad had just passed away or whatever, but he just pummeled him into the ground.
Lashes out.
He took everything out on him. Shane deserved it.
Yeah.
But
Shane wanted to say sorry and apologize.
We got to give him
But it was
points for
just
that.
not the time, and at the side of his hospital bed, that was not the time, right?
Sure, I agree.
Wrong time. And so there was of course, and he just wouldn't leave, and he kept saying sorry, so I would have...
I know, you would have went off.
I would have went off.
Wouldn't leave, kept saying sorry.
Ladies,
Yeah, like, don't-
don't
bother me.
Are we people online in the blogs and even myself are feeling like I think Meredith and Christina's relationship is a little fake now. It's a little. It's not.
It may never be the same.
It's not. It's very surface, as a matter of fact.
Never be the same.
Well, they did surgery together tonight.
Well, but did you see the conversation they had before? Like, it was like she was basically asking her, like, "Hey, do you want to do surgery? It'll be really positive." And I feel like Meredith has turned into a little bit of a biatch, and Christina Yang's trying to. Christina Yang has blossomed this season into being a more caring, easygoing, laid back, not as stone cold heartedness as she used to be, versus Meredith, who's very like Ice Queen. And even tonight, I was like still getting little bits of Meredith's mom from her again. You know, very cold, very short, very dismissive, pointed tones. You know, am I alone?
No,
in that?
you're right. You're completely right. I mean, their relationship, like when people have a really close friendships and you have such a big fight like they did, nothing will ever be the same.
Yeah?
It just will never be the same.
You have to go through some things to get to a next level of a friendship, but this was very, very damaging as far as their true feelings about each other being revealed.
Those what they said last season about each other was how they really felt.
Right.
And so like trying to go back and be like, okay, let's be friends, but you're in the back of their mind, they still know how they really felt.
They exposed
so with that said, like in the surgery, it was very forced and fake. Like, let's not go down that road.
Right.
Okay.
Girl, don't do it.
Don't do it. Because I will come across the table.
I will slice you with the 10 blade.
Meredith, she's just making herself miserable with anger. She's also mad at her husband.
I know.
And she's intentionally dragging it out for months.
Yeah,
How
and-
mad she is at him and making him pay. Even though she knows.
The president
and he
called.
knows, I'm going to get over this.
Yeah.
She
Right.
knows she's going to forgive him soon, and she's just still mad about it. So she keeps dragging it out.
I will say that all the females tonight on the show did look really good.
Yeah, everyone looked beautiful. It was
a great episode.
it was a really good episode.
And we
I
finally
loved it.
see Edward's break down and just go through it and even contemplate leaving the program.
Right. So before we get into the two things that happen at the end that I love, we do got to mention the president and Derek.
Oh yeah, we do.
And finding out the weird hockey thing,
Which was
like,
so not
what?
needed.
Not
Why?
needed.
So stupid.
So the president called during the wedding of last,
I mean, I talk to the president all the
texted,
time.
called, who knows?
Whenever the president calls me, I never pick
I don't
up.
ever. I say Instagram me, homie.
Yeah, like tweet
Obama
me.
baby, you know I got things going on.
Exactly. But with that said, like he told her last season that he's going to step down, let her become the star she wants to be, and he's going to take, be this kind of stay-at-home dad a little bit that does a little bit of work here and there. When he got that call from the president, he's like, I want this job,
Right.
and she was kind of furious about it, but they have to piggyback each other and love each other and champion each other to be happy and
be
successful.
successful, yeah.
So I don't know why she's like holding him by the chain,
I
She
don't
has
either.
a propensity for bitterness.
Right.
Ooh.
I mean, and
big
again,
words.
that's what I'm saying. She's ending up like Ellis. And no one, even online, they call me out for him like, Carter, you're wrong. I am right.
Oh.
She is going down. Okay, it's like this volcano that's just spewing before it erupts. And I feel like Meredith, if the show ever ends, by the way, it got renewed for 2 more seasons. Yay!
And Derek and Meredith are both back.
Yes.
Yay!
Well, Grey's is ABC's still the #1 show. But I feel like, she's morphing into something that's not all too nice. Meredith's becoming, like I said, an ice queen.
Just gotta get it in check. I really, really did not like the story about the kid from his youth.
That was so
though.
dumb.
Why wouldn't
Filler.
Derek tell people that? Like, that's not even a secret.
Well,
And he's a
it's
millionaire.
30 years later. Like
it's
he
strange.
$3,500 a month, brother. You better at least give me $10,000 if you're gonna mess up my brain.
Well, after 30 years, it just isn't that like a direct deposit? You're not even thinking about it anymore.
Probably.
Like, you know what I mean? So why is it like
the
a
whole
topic?
thing I didn't like.
Yeah, it was
Weird.
just kind of weird. I mean, but Kinsu 13 is sounding off on Twitter saying like, I don't understand why everyone was so happy after 3 weeks. And I agree with him. Like everyone, after the 3 weeks happened, like everyone was just so excited and happy and like,
Not everyone was happy. Stephanie definitely wasn't happy. Meredith's still mad.
Of course she is.
Yeah, not
Meredith's
everybody
always
was
mad.
happy.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Brianna Gurley, thank you so much. Yes, this girl, her name is, okay, so the intern, and she, well, you know, we got to hand it to our followers. She imdb.com me the picture and everything.
Love it.
I want to say what's up to our Twitter follower real quick.
What's the intern's name?
I'm going to get it right now. Her name is Gloria Garaayu. Brianna, don't hate me for saying that. Gloria, don't hate me. But yeah, that's her. How did you know I? Oh my God, that's so cool.
You and Jay, you're on
Yeah.
the same wavelength.
Same
Yeah.
wavelength.
But here is one of my favorite things that's happened on the show in a while, just because I'm shocked they haven't gone there yet. And I love the ramifications that could happen.
Ooh, what?
Leah, whenever she's comforting Stephanie in the stairwell, is like, it's not fair. He took advantage of you. He's your superior. Arizona did it to me.
Yep.
Christina did it to Shane.
Sluts.
We need to do something. You don't need to leave. This needs to be fixed.
Word.
And then right there, I was like, they wouldn't actually do anything about
And
it.
they did.
That's the core of the show.
Yeah.
That they all
Hold on.
sleep
Look,
together.
Before we do that, we got to take a pause for the cause. Go to iTunes, rate, comment, tell a friend. You know we love the comments. We love the 5 stars. Do it, damn it, because I will find you, and it will not be pretty.
Yeah, and tell
iTunes.
a friend.
Tell a friend. Yeah, I mean, it's wholesome fun here.
It's also fun.
No, seriously. That's how we keep the lights on here after Buzz. Rate a friend, comment. We love to hear our comments. We love to talk to our followers. Do it. That's how we
Jacqueline
roll.
Hyde over here. Do
Yes,
it.
do it.
Do it.
All right, well. So, okay, as you were.
Yeah, so we see her, and she's wanting to take some action. And we don't think she actually will.
You didn't think that. I was like,
You did?
HR, here we come.
Single white
'Cause
female.
I
am
didn't
an
think they would go
intern.
there because I feel like that's just what the show does. They just do it. But
Yeah.
no, Chief gets called aside. Visitation from HR. They have a board meeting. Somebody actually filed a claim.
Three of them. Quid pro quo, sexual harassment, and hostile work environment.
Look at you.
You know, they should say it's a hostile work environment for all the dangers that happen.
I know,
there.
like the
know.
blood and stuff
Everybody
like that.
dies, you know?
And what was even, and I work for a major corporation as well, and when they do file, well, you know, the company I work for is pretty big, Fortune 500, and when they file a sexual harassment or anything like that, you cannot disclose who did it. You cannot in a group setting disclose who it's against. It has to be one-on-one, confidential, and privacy. So when they asked who it was, Owen's like, that's not going to happen because it's against the law.
But they're all looking across the table at each
Like-
other like, it could have been you. It could have
Right.
been you.
It
It
could've
could
been you.
have been me. It could have been any
And then
of us.
Avery's like, so if I do know who it was,
Can I talk to said
Could
person?
Hypothetically.
yeah, because
And
it
they're
was
like,
me.
Nope, can't do that either. And what was cool, and they have to also say this, is that pre-existing married couples are excluded from this new directive of, you know, no tolerance, zero tolerance, et cetera, et cetera. But you know what? I think in reading this on a blog today, that's the last straw they could do for something like that. What else are they going to say? I mean, they've never done this before, sexual harassment. It's
Yeah,
always
and
been
they
like
need it.
It's like, and this is sinister too, because that's when it comes down. People get very personal. Yeah, they almost died in a plane wreck. Yes, they had Denny cut an LVAD, whatever. But this is petty, but it's also
But this
very
is also
damaging.
No,
this
it's not
This
petty.
is what I love about it. Here's what I don't love about it. Whenever they show Joe and Alex, oh, now we might have to break up. Fine, we will. No, that's not what I want to happen. I want to see the interns in this show finally step up, rally together, get their organizational troops on the same page,
Ooh.
and say this shouldn't happen in our workplace.
Yeah, I mean it's not petty because this is the real world that we're watching Grey's Anatomy. It's the
Right.
real world, and you can't sleep with people and then break up with them and then go to work the next day. Like, it just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? Because you feel intimidated at work. You feel like
Yeah.
you can't work the best. Like, it is work. Like, do all that play stuff on the side.
I play at work. Just kidding. Hey, want to say what's up to Stefa Soyla Leotra, and she says that she definitely thinks that Meredith is being a biatch, you know, and
You think so?
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Meredith, I feel like she's just making herself miserable over this.
And
one.
Brianna Gurley says the intern's name on the show was Graciela. Exactly, her name was Graciela. I'm sorry, I failed Grey's Interns 101. I think the sexual harassment things. Okay, I hope it plays out to where it gets more intense because I do agree with you, Starr. You should not play at work. Sexual harassment is a very serious thing, but in the context of Grey's, the way they're doing it, it is
We
petty.
want them to have a lot of sex because it's Grey's Anatomy.
It is
Hello.
petty. And even in the previews for next week, they get caught with their pants down
What?
again.
No.
So I mean, again, if it was serious business, you see the chief or Owen Perch doing his whole speaking to the masses from on top of the.
He's God.
Yeah.
Will not hook up with
You will
each other.
You will keep it in your pants, you know? So we see that again, blah, blah, blah. But I want this to be even more. If they're going to do the sexual harassment thing, it needs to get dicey.
It needs to get dirty,
to be fun.
dicey.
Yeah. And not just be a 2-episode thing and it's done.
No,
not-
people
and
need
not-
to get fired.
Right.
They need,
Yeah.
I need some, I'm with you.
You've been written up, or they just need to go back through like, oh, that's not how we do it anymore with the nurse protocol. I think it has serious potential to be hilarious.
Yeah, it could. Or what they should do is bring back the cameras. Remember the cameras where they would talk to each other when Pegasus was all up in it?
Yeah.
When the mythical creature was all up in Seattle Grey's personal rest. You know what I'm saying?
So this entire episode.
Entire episode.
Because first we see April and Avery run off together, all romantically.
Avril.
That was April. Wow, we never said that before.
Hashtag Avril.
Avril.
Tweet that right now, followers.
Hashtag
Avril.
best tongue mistake ever.
Yes,
Yeah.
hello.
So she's in the car. That was so funny. She's like, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I can't do it. They
Wait.
run off, and then the rest of the episode, we think that's how it's been.
Avril
like
sounds
they're-
like Avril. Never mind. Don't tweet that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
So
Avril
we
Lavigne.
think,
No.
we think she's with no one. I was furious because I felt like this puts us back at square one. Like nothing in several seasons had even happened.
And even Stephanie was like,
She didn't make a choice.
Like, no one's with anybody. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, so that's
I
horrible.
was really over it and mad the whole episode. But it was a big surprise.
Yes.
Surprise.
Dun, dun, dun.
Surprise.
They were not actually broken up.
Why is this so dramatic?
I don't know, you guys just keep feeding into it. So they show the moment. She goes back to the car, and apparently something like, this place is 13 hours away. Let's get married.
Lake Tahoe.
What?
Tahoe.
First of all, why did I have to go to Lake Tahoe to get married? But still, what?
I love it.
I love the other option. We won't talk to any of them ever again.
Yeah, that moment was really cute. But I mean, I didn't see it coming.
At all.
So when it did happen, I was like, yay! Like I was jumping up and down. It was really exciting.
I thought they were just secretly together.
Yeah, and which was really cute because they were hugging and loving when she got home from work, and he was like, "I'll tell you what happened," which is all his fault because of the whole Stephanie thing. But that'll be next week's episode. But I just really think that I've been wanting them together. I've been saying it all last season. Like they need to get together. Their chemistry is there. It's amazing. I'm excited.
We've been saying it since the beginning of the show. End game. And I'll tell you what, Grey's writers, way to not make us suffer through an entire relationship before we get to the payoff.
And
Yeah.
We got end
Flash
game
mob.
this episode.
Yeah, we had to go through a flash mob to get here.
Really,
I loved that.
I mean, it was cute to look at, but in the seriousness of the validity of Grey's Anatomy, it needs to never happen again.
Yeah, no more flash
No more
mobs.
music episodes. Shonda,
We do not
stop.
need a musical theater
Put that
moment.
on Scandal. Give them a musical episode.
Yeah.
Like, Fitz and Olivia sings "Gone with the Wind." Do that.
It'd be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Hashtag worst thing ever.
Millie. But the thing about it is, like, I love it that they got married right away because then we don't even have to deal with the issue of is she going to wait to be with him again? She could be with him that night, 13 hours later, you know?
Yeah.
So I loved it. What did you think?
I thought I thought it was great. I don't particularly care about April and Jackson. Really, I don't.
You
because-
have
What?
to.
You never
have
have?
to care,
I never have.
Jason,
No,
because
no,
all day, every day, everybody's like, who will she choose?
No, I
This
know,
is
and
the
that's
thing.
cool. I'm glad she. I never was a fan of her and them together. So really, that storyline really didn't matter to me. The love storylines don't matter to me. I like the drama where people are dying, that stuff. But
He's like, I want the Catman.
I will say that I do. I look at Grey's for the aesthetic as well of the writing and the emotion that I feel.
Catman.
So, you guys are totally just stealing my moment.
the Catman moment.
Jason, you just said, I don't care about this part of the show. That's 90%
I
of the
know.
show. You're like, I don't care about
Okay,
90% of the show.
well-
Who's dying?
Well, listen, but I will say that I do like the way they tied it in a nice little bow, a nice little Tiffany and Company bow, and how they ended up together. I thought that was great because I do believe in true love. I do believe that people are supposed to look.
Now he's all romantic.
Now he cares.
I never said I didn't believe in love, Star Session, and you know me. Oh,
You just said I don't care about love.
Star Session, throw me on the bus one
more
show at a time. But I'm saying I believe in love in general. I don't particularly care for Jackson and April as a couple and their chemistry. I've been saying that since Jump.
You have been, and it's annoying because I knew they were going to get back together.
Okay, well, you're a Star. You're always right.
What do you think, Starr?
Thank you.
How do you feel about it?
I already said I was excited.
I want to know how you guys feel at home because people
Yeah.
are so split on this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I really, really thought she could have been happy with Matthew too. But them together in the end, it was just more organic than their relationship's
Okay.
ever
This
been.
was an amazing episode
a great
back.
episode.
I think it's set the bar for it to get even better. And I hope this next season is just like juicy and fun and more people dying.
Sandra Bombard just tweeted us. She was like, "What? I love the musical episode." You were probably the only one, Sandra, but we love you, though.
Poor Sandra.
We love you.
Poor Sandra.
So, okay, will we say that tonight's episode was a return to form of Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Good.
would say it was a triumphant return.
Triumphant, good. Yes.
And here's the thing, that's something, it's a little bit sad for me. This may probably be my last episode for a few weeks to months.
Well, why, Julie?
Well, I'm technically already supposed to be on maternity leave.
She's preggo. She has a baby bump. A
So
little Partin.
I took a little break from it to come because I had to see you guys again.
we
I
missed
had
you
to
too,
see you
Jules.
guys again. I had to see the show.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
so glad you're
so
here.
I may be back. I may be calling in. Either way, I'll miss you for the next few weeks to months.
Yeah,
It's been my
months.
pleasure.
Well, if you come in and you give birth here, it'll be like a Grey's Anatomy happening at AfterBuzz TV. It'll be
Yes.
amazing.
These two,
I'll
they
be the
keep
intern.
saying it.
I'll cut the umbilical cord.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I've watched enough Grey's to
and
know how to
then,
deliver
and
a
then
baby.
the power goes out and I have a C-section in the
Perfect.
dark.
and a hurricane and a tree falls from the window. You know?
Huge
Stormwatch
bonding.
2014.
That could happen. All right.
But yes, this was a great return. I wish I could be here for the rest of the season. It was such a fantastic episode.
I agree.
It was,
I
it was.
agree.
Catman or not.
Oh, Catman. Let's move on to news and gossip.
Woo!
AfterBuzz TV News.
So I'm, doing my daily stroll to Vaughn's up the street from my apartment, and I pick up February's Glamour. I know. And in Glamour is an article on Alexandra Patsavas, who is the musical director for a bunch of shows, but who's been the musical director for Grey's
Anatomy.
and Scandal. And she talks about how she picks her music, why she picks her music, what are some of the defining moments from in her career on these shows. And what was really cool about that article was, I've said time and time again that Grey's they have discovered and brought to light so many indie bands like Snow Patrol, The Fray,
Yep.
Kate Havnick, so many people that we probably wouldn't have listened to because they're not as mainstream as Rihanna, Bieber, etc. And so I really got a glimpse into how she picks the music for the show. So if you can read that article, it'll definitely give you some insight to some more Grey's
What
fun things.
magazine was it in again?
Glamour, February 2014.
And
Perfect.
tell us about the top Grey's Anatomy moments.
Yes, with every show we try to find news and gossip for you after Buzzers, and I was reading Entertainment Weekly's top 13 Grey's moments, and they were all stunning. They had one quote was talking about Christina and Meredith about their being each other's person. She said, Meredith is a person that I would call if I killed someone and cut them up and wanted to drag their body across the living room.
And these are different like memes and stuff
These are
too.
different memes from different seasons.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was so, yes, the more you know. It was amazing. So there's also a Grey's Wiki. I don't know if you AfterBuzzers know that there's a Grey's Wiki that goes more in depth on some of the characters that aren't, really prevalent on the show.
Right.
But talks about like their backstory. And a lot of it's kind of ficticious, of course, because, Grey's is fictitious, but it's very insightful.
Nice.
So check it out. Do your Grey's homework. It will definitely pay off and you will definitely enjoy it.
Oh, fancy.
So, predictions.
Predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Whoa, we go away and they got a new prediction sweep. Awesome.
Love
Sorry,
that.
where's
Ooh.
the light?
And lights?
Oh, there we go.
Wow,
Gross
after
lights.
Maria Menounos, thank you so much.
I think we sort of went over it during the episode, but I really think Calzona's in for a happy season. I really think Meredith needs to snap herself out of it.
Or take a Midol.
Meredith she really needs to chill. She's just harboring that and turning herself wicked.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this sexual harassment suit could be fun if it's played right.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really happy for Avery. They're so wonderful.
Yeah, I was like an Avril until we thought about that it was going to be
Avril
Avril.
Lavigne. Yeah.
Okay,
no.
fine. April and Avery.
Yeah.
Way to go. Love you guys together.
Avery?
Seen
No,
this a
I'll
long
stop.
time.
Okay, no.
What do you
fine,
think?
Whatever.
Any?
No, my predictions are Avery and Avril will not stick. I think, of course, Jackson and April are going to be happy, but I think it's going to be a kind of a long road for them because they've hurt so many people along the way now.
That's true.
There's a hiccup there. They have to mend fences, and I also feel that this sexual harassment thing. My predictions that I'm hoping that it gets dicey because sexual harassment is one of those accusations that people throw out left and right. So for Grace to actually put that in there, it's like, okay, well, this is kind of an everyday thing. How are we going to spin this? How are we going to make this an issue? Like next week on Grace, that sort of thing.
They have an opportunity to make it really fun. Let's hope they don't take it into like a court territory where they drag out everybody's dirty laundry.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it gets like really dicey.
I hope so.
Kind of perverted. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that'd be great. Like, someone gets HPV or something.
Yeah,
I don't know,
like something,
like, you give me gonorrhea.
They already had that.
Or
chlamydia or something. I mean,
Remember
okay.
that? It was one of the early seasons and they had an STD going around.
Or Owen starts like groping people,
genital
without them
warts or
knowing
something.
it. I don't know. I could see that happening. But this next season, I'm liking this first arc. We get a few different arcs before we get to that finale, and I'm liking that the first arc is going to be the sexual harassment case. And I'm just going to piggyback on what you guys said. Like, I think this is going to be a great season. I think April and Jackson are just going to have a lot of sex, and I think it's going to be feisty and fun.
It is hard to start out your relationship with all these secrets.
Yeah. So I think that there might be a little drama in there, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think this whole President McDreamy ordeal, that needs to die. Unless it's going to get juicy and then we have a walk-on with the real Obama. That might be good, but
right. We don't
or
need
the real
not.
Fitz.
Yeah,
Fitz.
That would be amazing because we don't need a dissension between Meredith and Derek.
Fitz
We had
from Scandal.
we had 7 seasons of that. We're done with that. All right, you guys. Well, there it is. Welcome back, Julie. We will miss you. Good luck.
I will still be a part of the conversation on Twitter, as should all of you guys.
That's right.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JDCForever and also on the new improved Jason Carter fan page on Facebook and at the SayWhatWebShow.com.
And you can find me on Twitter and Facebook as well at JULIEPARTIN.
And you can find me at Say What Web Show as well as at Starr Session.
So good to be back, you guys.
That's right.
Yep. Until next time, you guys. See you next
From
week.
executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.